I don't look at gold the way I look at investments, because gold doesn't throw off a return. What I've done personally, and what I'm advising my clients to do, is we invest in a lot of overseas stocks, value stocks, stocks that have a lot of real tangible assets on their balance sheet, that have good earnings, that pay good dividends in foreign currencies. The businesses have a lot of pricing power. They can raise prices to offset rising costs. And that's what you want to own. And we own a lot of commodity related, energy, agriculture, mining, a lot of precious metals related investments, gold and silver mining stocks. These are the type of investments that will do very well in an inflationary environment, in a stagflationary environment. We're invested in emerging markets. I think those markets will do very well with a weak U.S. dollar. So you want to, get those portfolios now before they become too expensive with the dollar crash. Well, I'm not buying my value stocks in the U.S. because even value stocks in the U.S. are expensive. They're just value relative to momentum stocks, which are ridiculously expensive. And those are the stocks that are going to crash, even with inflation. But no, we're investing in overseas markets where we actually do get a good value for the money. We're buying stocks at historically average to below average PEs, with dividend yields that far exceed the yields available, on bonds. So we're getting good value. We're getting good income. And I think these businesses will do well. And what's happened during the bubble is people have been willing to pay a premium for growth stocks. And so much so, there's been so much money going into that sector that the value stocks have kind of just been ignored. And I think that when inflation rears its head in a big way, either the Fed raises rates to fight it or just allows it to continue. But either of those scenarios is bearish for high growth stocks, high multiple, low earning stocks. And I think that as that bubble breaks and the returns improve out of the value sector, that more of the institutional money that has been flooding into momentum is going to move back into value. And so those flows are going to cause these value stock prices to go up. And so therefore you want to position yourself before the herd drives the prices a lot higher. During inflation, paper money, fiat currencies are losing value. And so prices are going up. So gold is a commodity, and the price of gold will go up along with the price of nickel and lead and wheat and oil and cotton and corn, right? All the things that we need, right? All those prices go up. Now, you're not going to load up on cotton. How much? You'd have to have a lot of space to store it, and you'd have to have the right temperature and, wheat. How are you going to store oil? You're going to have big tanks in your backyard. So if you want to buy a commodity that's easy to store and has a lot of value in a small place, well, that's gold, right? And so gold is a good hedge against inflation, because even if you don't need the gold, you can buy it anyway because somebody's going to need it. Jewelers are going to need it. Computer chip manufacturers are going to need it. It's used in dentistry and aerospace. So it's a commodity that people are going to use, but you can store it. And other central banks also, when there's a dollar crisis and their reserves are in dollars and they're worried about the dollar going down, what are they going to own? The only other reserve asset that they have at their disposal is gold. So you'll have central banks that'll be buying gold, and a lot of other investors. So there's going to be a lot of demand for gold in the future as an alternative to dollars or other fiat currencies. So I don't look at gold the way I look at investments, because gold doesn't throw off a return. I look at gold as an alternative to dollars or euros or yen, because if I bury dollars in my backyard, I don't get a return on those dollars either, right? So the question is, what do you want to bury in your backyard? Dollar bills or gold coins, right? The gold coins have a much better chance of being worth something in the future than those pieces of paper. But I'm not buying gold at the exclusion of making investments. I still want to be invested in stocks. I still want to be invested in real estate. I don't want to have all my money in liquidity in gold. Now, if I thought everything was overpriced, right? If I thought all the real estate was too expensive, all the stocks were too expensive, all the art, all the other investments, if I just wanted to wait it out in cash, yeah, I would have everything in gold, right? If I was of the opinion that every single asset was overpriced. Being in gold was better than being in stocks because gold was down about 30% and stocks were down about 50%. But obviously being in cash was better than being in gold. But if we have massive inflation, then stock prices may not even go down in terms of dollars, but they could crash in terms of gold. So let's say that the stock market, the Dow is what? 30, let's say 30,000, whatever the Dow is. Let's say the Dow is 36,000 and gold is 1,800 an ounce. Let's say the Dow goes up to 50,000, but gold goes to 10,000. The stocks have actually crashed because the gold price has collapsed. But the nominal stock price has gone up. So if stocks come down in an inflationary environment where the losses are, when you adjust for inflation, then you're much better off being in gold. And there also could be a situation where we're having a dollar crisis and a stock market crash at the same time, and the Dow can go from 36,000 down to 20,000, but gold can go from 1,800 to 5,000. So in that type of environment, you can see stocks crashing while gold's going up. So my bet is, given my concerns about the dollar and inflation, if I really wanted to wait out a stock market crash, I'd much rather keep my dry powder in gold than dollars. And you need to start selling your Bitcoin right now. Don't even wait for the finish of this interview. Just start selling, because if you're looking for safety, you can't look at Bitcoin. And even if you believe in Bitcoin, you must acknowledge that it is highly speculative. And you must also acknowledge the possibility that it goes to zero. So the only money that anybody should have in Bitcoin is money that they're willing to lose. Right? So whatever your risk tolerance is, do not put one nickel more into Bitcoin than you're willing to lose. So if you've got, $10,000 in Bitcoin, if you can't say, if that goes to zero, I'm totally fine, then 10,000 is too much. I don't know. If you have 100,000 in Bitcoin and you're not okay with that going to zero, it's not going to hurt you. It's not going to affect your life. It's not going to stop you from paying your mortgage or retiring or doing the things that you want to do. If that's your fun money, you have to look at it like, I just took this money to Las Vegas and I know I'm going to lose it. I might make it. I might hit it big, but I'm going to have a good time. I'm willing to lose this money. That's how you have to look at Bitcoin. So if you're not looking at it like that, then just get out of it. It's not for you. Or at least reduce your position to the point that you are comfortable losing 100% of whatever you leave in Bitcoin. And that goes with any cryptocurrency.
Before we continue, help us clicking that YouTube like button and subscribe now to our channel. This shows the algorithm that you valued this information. And it helps us spread that message. Sharing is caring. And now, let's continue.
Do you want to know one thing about crypto? I made over 3,000% in profit in a few weeks. Fact is, the traditional financial system, the traditional money system makes you poor, not rich. If you want to earn $500,000, $1 million, you have to wait until you're 50, 60, 70 in the traditional financial system, and you probably will still be broke. And you will be old. This is not a sexy combination, as you can imagine. But the question is, how can you start in crypto and make these profits? Where to invest? Where to start? My name is Gunnar and I'm from Germany, as you can hear, and things are a little bit different in Germany. More about that later on. Fact is, there are lots of different cryptocurrencies. It's a gigantic universe where beginners and professionals get easily lost. But there is light at the end of the tunnel. There are 7 key steps you need to follow to become successful in this market. You have to know them, and if you fail one of them, it's literally impossible to succeed in this market. Just an example, one of the key points is your exchange, and one of the biggest are, for example, Binance and Coinbase. These are trusted and well-established exchanges, but, and this is a big but, you won't find the super profitable coins on those exchanges. The unknown super profitable coins that get gigantic profits are not traded on those kind of exchanges. They are traded on much smaller insider platforms that are barely known. And I can tell you what those super secret exchanges are and why they are so profitable. And another super important thing are the right information sources. The point is, the internet is gigantic. There are hundreds and hundreds of YouTube channels, blogs, pages, and much more. And there are also market makers and influencers. For example, Elon Musk, he is not a crypto guy, but the moment he recommended Dogecoin, it went through the roof, to the moon, so to say. But why did he recommend it? Where did he hear it from? He didn't hear it from newspapers. And believe me, he is listening to someone. But you have to know who, and you have to react before he is reacting. This is really important. And these are only 2 of the 7 steps you have to follow in order to be successful in crypto. And if you want to know all of these steps in much more detail, and if you want to have a comprehensive checklist, here's what you should do. There is a link below this video. Click on this link and you will get the opportunity to subscribe to my channel. Click on the link and you will see a video where I explain the next steps. So see you soon. Click on the link now. I'll see you there.